3 significant challenges an abuse victim faces. She does not know she is abused. She does not know if to walk away or stay. She fears the consequences of walking away. Hi and welcome to Triple F with Dr. Bells. Remember to subscribe. Oftentimes we blame victims, saying she would have known. Why did she stay? She would have just walked away. It's that simple. But these are very unfair statements to make, because these challenges don't just have some result principles cast in stone. An abuser may use words, actions, and violence to express power in order to control and dominate their victims when they experience powerlessness. Now let's take a look at the different challenges that makes it difficult for a victim to leave an abusive relationship. Number 1, you don't know that you are being abused. Time and time again, you have people say no relationship is perfect. There are ups and downs, high and lows. Some people even believe it is normal to be abused and that every relationship passed through this. Sadly, this is reinforced by some mothers and mother-in-laws in some African homes. Identifying that you are being abused is the most important step, and this will determine how easy it is for you to surpass the other 2 challenges. So here we're going to talk about how you can identify an abuser, because an abuser doesn't walk around with an abuser placard or an abuser written on his forehead. It is difficult for you to determine who he really is at the beginning. Love is a beautiful thing, but it should never be blind. An abuser will abuse you if he believes he can get away with it. Know the signs so that you can flash your red card when it is time to kick him off the game. These signs encompass physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. He wants to control almost all everything that you do, what you eat, what you wear, places you go to, and even friends you keep. He forces you to have sex with him. He talks down or shouts at you privately and publicly. He throws stuff at you, hits you, kicks you, pushes you, tries to strangle you, and even may attempt pointing a gun at you. He openly cheats on you. He destroys things that belong to you as a way of intimidating you. He may restrict your access to finances, education, jobs, and even healthcare. He never takes responsibilities for his actions but always blames you. He bluntly denies or makes light of the abusive situation when you try to talk about it. He manipulates you by telling you how fortunate you are to be in his life or how he cannot survive without you. He cautions you to never disclose personal issues, especially those related to the abuse, with family or close friends. During arguments, he threatens to harm you or someone you love, or even do something that will hurt you, like taking away the kids if you're married. If you have checked some of these signs and you've identified that you're being abused, then the next 2 steps are usually the most difficult to follow through. Number 2, the decision to walk away or stay in the relationship. Whenever the first challenge lingers for too long, making a decision here becomes more difficult. By now, you have invested so much in the relationship, physically, sexually, emotionally, financially, that you wonder if it is just best for you to stay back and fix it. You reassure yourself that he's going to change because he keeps alternating between violent, abusive, and apologetic behavior with heartfelt promises that he's indeed going to change. These, when done frequently, may lead to the battered woman syndrome, which may progress into post-traumatic stress disorder. Some victims retaliate violently at this stage and harm the abuser. Number 3, the consequences of walking away. By the time you get to this stage and realize that the abusive experience is not worth the past sacrifices or the investments being made, you start to dread the possible consequences of leaving the relationship. This usually depends on the nature of the abuse, the threats from the abuser, and the stage of the relationship. Your fears can range from you believing that no one else will accept you, or that it will hurt you or kill you, or you won't have any more financial support from him, or you will bring shame upon your family members, or he may even deny you custody of your kids. It should be noted here that a US study done showed that 70% of injuries from domestic violence occurred after separation of the couples because the perpetrators tend to harass, stalk, and harm their victims, sometimes even leading to their deaths. Abuse thrives in silence. Recognize the early signs and find a safe way out. You alone have the ultimate power to end it by exposing it. Talk about it to your family or someone that you look up to, and do not hesitate to report him to the appropriate authorities if he threatens you or any loved one. I know some of you are Christians and you believe that all things are possible and that prayers will heal him. But please, why not at least safeguard yourself and also your kids if you have some while you're waiting for the effect of your prayers. To all the past victims that came out of an abusive relationship, you are the real MVPs. Please share your experiences in the comment section, for you might just be saving a present victim from a horrible nightmare. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you same time next week Friday.